Everyone, this video is about how to play line 102 in our book. It's titled Essential Elements Quiz, This Old Man. You might also know this as the theme from Barney, the Barney song, I Love You, You Love Me. Now, you probably recognize the tune, but there's some things that may be tricky here that are going to require some work when you play it. Let's start by looking at the notes. We know that this is played almost entirely on the G string. It only uses a couple of notes from the D string. That would be the open D and first finger E. The rest of the notes are low notes that are on our G string. Now, if you play a chin instrument, you'll notice that the first three Ds and the Ds in this line are all able to be played with your fourth finger. That's because the composers have decided it's probably easier to play 4-2-4, 4-2-0 than it is to keep switching back and forth between strings. Now, if you play the cello, you do have to switch strings. So you've got to rock your bow back and forth between the correct level to play the D string and then the switch levels to play the B on your G string. D, B, D, and your bow rocks down and changes levels to play on that G string. And if you're a chin instrument and you're playing this, you have to listen very carefully to make sure that your fourth finger D sounds the same as your open D. The fourth finger D might sound a little bit more muffled, but it should sound like it's the same pitch. If you listen very carefully when Ms. Reimer plays this at the end, you can hear the difference between the finger D and the open D. They're both the same pitch, but the timbre, the tone quality, is slightly different. Now let's look at the counting just a little bit. This one has a lot of places where your fingers really have to move, particularly here in the second line. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 and 2 and 3. Here our fingers really have to boogie to play up that scale. And what I recommend you do is you slow down as much as you need to play this in time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 and 2 and 3. Again, making sure that's a fourth finger note happening on beat 3 if you play a chin instrument. And once you know you can play it slowly in time, then gradually speed it up until you're able to play the entire tune. When you count the whole tune, it should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and stop. Now it's important to remember when we're counting that this happens exactly on beat 4, and these notes, they belong to the next phrase. 4 and 1, we don't want to think 1, 2, 3, wait, 4 and 1, or this wouldn't really be beat 4. So it's important that it's played in time. Listen to Miss Reimer play it while I count along. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and stop. This time, play along with Ms. Reimer. Listen carefully to make sure that you're playing in time and in tune with her and with the piano. Here we go. Instruments ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. All right, now practice this as much as you need to, as slow as you need to. There is also a practice first task attached to this lesson. Make sure you complete that task and you can adjust the tempo so that it matches the tempo that you want to play it at. Make sure that you have the metronome turned on in practice first so you're playing it in good steady time rather than having it follow you through rhythmic mistakes you might make. I want you to make sure that you're following it. Listen very, very carefully to that metronome. That's it for this lesson. Thanks for stopping by.